It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28, starting at verse 1, and it reads, Tyre's king overthrown. And we know sometimes scriptures are twofold. So this represented something that took place in the past. It represented an individual, I believe he was a Hamite, if I'm not mistaken. But it could represent, or it represents the modern day Babylonian, the Idumean, the Edomite, so it's likened onto this man Esau Edom that's in rulership right now. Job 9 and verse 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So verse 1 it reads, the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, power, because thine heart is lifted up, because this devil, he exudes or exerts, his whole being is lifted up. He's lifted up with pride, I just did a lesson recently. You got DJ Trump still threatening, talking about basically taking over Greenland. You can't even get the Strait of Hormuz in order the way you want to, but you talking about what you're about to do to another country. And the whole world is seeing this. I forgot what country just recently said that they were ready, preparing to fight. And that's why the beast shall hate the whore. It says, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God, I sit in the seat of the Most High, in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High, though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High. I was listening to a particular elder, and he was going into, the technologies that Esau Edom has, the acoustics, and he was talking about the voice of God, which is deep, throughout Yahweh for keeping me in the loop. Because, that's one thing, we still got access to the internet. So, if you in the spirit, you're going to, that's the whole thing about this truth we in, brothers, to the edification. So we building each other up. But I can believe that. Like, Esau got some shit, because you got to remember a lot of ancient shit they the Lord gave them privy to. Sound has been able to be made as a weapon. That's probably what they used when they went into Venezuela. Sound a bad motherfucker, man. I remember watching something that they was talking about. That's how they move the pyramids. Now, I don't know how true that is, but sound carries frequency. If you ever watched that Incredible Hulk with what's that dude name? Edward Norton, which he a good actor to me. He played in a couple of movies I like. But I think he produced that one. But they pretty much, the military used the sound to fight the Hawk. They had these big ass, and they use that to this day. They call it crowd control weapons. So instead of just killing the people, they'll use the sound to break the people's body down. Shit, you should be able to recognize it if you've ever, like, I grew up around niggas, so niggas will, trick their car out there, put all them sounds in the car. You'll lose I think that's what, I'm deaf now. If you want the truth, I just found that, I've had jobs where they check your hearing and shit. They like, nigga, you can't even hear it. I'm thinking I be hearing perfectly fine. They like, nigga, you can't. Ain't that funny? So yeah, that's deep though when you take time to think about it, because they gonna use, and the scriptures, that's why I'm reading Ezekiel chapter 28, because it talk about this man want to be the Most High. So how the Most High, like I said, the scriptures talk about how the Most High ordered the steps of man. This devil really want to be the Most High. And that's why the Lord going to fuck him up so good. I just want to see, even if I don't get on the chariot, I will smile. Just think like, this nigga crazy. You know what I'm saying? Probably. But again, I understand the true definition of the word crazy. It just means I'm misunderstood. Like, a lot of the brothers, I guess, would be considered crazy, right? Like the elder was going into, the beloved elder apostle was like, people that's conspiracy theorists tend to have a IQ that's greater than the normal people. Right. Because we don't look at things the same way as everybody. Motherfucker come with something shiny. Oh, let's go. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you. Motherfucker try to give me something, I might not take it. Motherfucker get offended. I remember the brother tried to give me a coin, right? I love that little brother too. That brother tried to give me a coin, a silver coin. And he probably got offended because I didn't take it. I didn't take it because I knew he was going to need that. You know what I'm saying? And then what, silver went up to what, fucking $120? So it wasn't about, I didn't want your gift. You know, he kept on trying to give me stuff too. And I wasn't recognizing that he was, you know, favoring me or whatever. You know, that was the Lord had the spirit on him. But, you know, again, I'm a practical brother. You know what I mean? A lot of shit I had accumulated was not for me. It was for everybody. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I understood what the elder was saying. He was talking about how, you know, you move too hasty or you make wrong decisions. You know, you can affect your walk. Right. Because it's the Lord got your walk set up to be a certain kind of way. If it's meant to be like bumpy or if it's meant to be smooth. And we can make poor decisions. But at the end of the day, you're going to still do the will of the Lord regardless. Shit, you might have supposed to have been a preacher, but they did some dumb shit and ended up in jail. Well, guess what? If you meant to be the preacher, you're going to preach in jail. I know a dude that did that. And you never know what the Lord gonna do. The Lord can let him out of jail. Yeah. I watch movies, but movies based around reality. You know, real life. That's why they say, you know, art imitates life. Verse 3. Well, let me reread this. Because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am the Most High. I sit in the seat of the Most High in the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man and not the Most High. Though thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, meaning his mind. This man trying to be the Most High God power. And for you to take on a mindset like that, you don't, and the scriptures say the Most High God is a jealous power. You thinking you on a level with the, that's what I say, as crazy as I am, let you tell, okay, I know I ain't that crazy, nigga. The script, oh no, that's a saying the brothers always, I ain't gonna say always, but sometimes mention, they say, your arms ain't long enough to box with the Lord. You know, I realized, I remember back in the day, you know, you say some shit, the Lord will play with you. Oh yeah, you say some tough shit, and the Lord will send somebody tough. Now, show me you tough, nigga. Verse 3, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. You know, because Daniel was considered a wise man. But this devil, this Edomite, what do you call him, a Sheedomite? This nigga, Hokab, yeah, that nigga's an Edomite. If that, Jake, hey, I saw the video brother did. I saw the screensaver. That nigga looked at confounded. That nigga looked at confounded. It was funny. He really don't got power. It's just like I said, I say the spirit. Like I said, I avoid certain shit. You know, sometimes, you know, I've been a young man. I'm gonna just run face first into everything. Now you use wisdom. You know, I was working at a roofing job recently, right? I never did roof. Well, I did roofing before. Like maybe like 20 years ago, not even then, probably like 58, I can't remember exactly, years ago, right? We worked on a flat roof. I just recently did a roofing job, right? They doing the shingle roof. So you gotta, and in my youth I did it, you know? But I'm like, a dude telling me some dumb shit. I say, nigga, if I fall, I'm not young to the point where I'm gonna recuperate. Like I probably would, I got a brother that just literally, my sister was telling me he broke his hip. My brother like 60 years old. He'll never be the same. But to show you how cold the Lord is, they say he's walking because he can't drive. He's not driving, so he had to walk. Show you the Lord cold, man. But the point is, I was just thinking about this motherfucker talking about, oh yeah, I fell off of a roof like that. Nigga, I'm not trying to fall. And yeah, this shows just show you the times. Years ago, I wouldn't have took that job. Remember when you could just pick and choose? I ain't taking that job. I'm gonna take this job. You know what I mean? Now they got to do whatever you got to do in order to survive, unless you're gonna do some bullshit. And everything is recorded now, so you can't even really get away with doing bullshit. Hey, try it. Back in the day, you could get unemployment and work a job. Nowadays, you can't. They got all your information in there. I'm talking about they know jobs that I didn't even tell them about. Like the elder said, he said, everybody got a dossier, which I can believe. I know I'm being watched, and I'm sure the elders know that, you know, weird little shit happening and shit. The water how much you for this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. It says, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Because the Lord allowed them to have this, you know, the Lord put them in a position to actually be able to bring forth a system like this. You get what I'm saying? And like the elder kept on making mention of, and I was just meditating on what he was saying. it's a completely like oppressive ass system. You know, I see why the elder liked Alex Jones, because he recognizes that Alex Jones recognizes who we are, you know, which is deep, you know. So, because I noticed the elder gives you big up. It's a reason why the elder said that he think Hocab is a Jake. And, you know, I will consider what the elder say, because he's an elder. Again, I just respect him just because of the simple fact for you to give this much time of your life to something, you a grown man to me. You know, like I said, yeah, I think being in this truth is like the most consistent thing I've ever done in my whole existence on being on this planet. This go around, you know. Verse 4, with thine wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. And like I said, this devil runs and rules and controls pretty much everything. The scriptures say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The scriptures talk about as the judge of the city he is. Because this man has power. Again, I was making mention of, I remember, the crazy part is I made mention of the brother that I was with, where we was looking at the 666. We was like, this devil really got power. I just saw his Eve with his baby. I can't remember what that little baby name is. I was like, damn, that's deep. And like I said, maybe it was just, you know, in my mind or in coincidence, but she walked past me like several times. She walked past, showed the baby, walked past, showed the baby. And I could see her remembering me because I used to be around all the time. Like, I was one of the brothers that when the brothers did something, I did it. Because them was my brother. Well, not was, they my brothers. I don't know if I'm in timeout or I'm profane or if the Lord just like, your mission is different. Hey, but I'm so terrified of the Lord, I won't go do it. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, this shit get hard, heavy, but at the same time, like Mike guy. You know? But yeah, you don't know about no Mike guy. That nigga was corny, but that nigga was powerful. He's like, he'll throw a thumbs up at you, like, yeah. Hey, but it's funny about that shit, dude, because Mike guy used to beat the shit out of his son. Like, that's what made his shit powerful, right? Because he only was able to pass it on to one person. It was a bloodline thing. And he only could pass it on to his son. So it's like how you do dogs, you know what I mean? Like, usually when you got a dog, they'll take the pick of the litter and they'll breed that dog with another dog, you know what I mean, to keep the bloodline strong. That's why you got Esau that a mate with their family members, because they keeping the blood. That's right. Right. I know this brother be like, right. Right. Thuwadiya Bashir Chef for the truth. It says, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thy heart is lifted up because of thy riches. And again, this man is the most proudest individual on the planet, you know. And the scriptures talk about pride coming before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. And this motherfucker, again, I did a video on that. I said, how you still talking shit? They say they fucking them up right now, and you can see footage of it, but man, Iran is dug deep up under the mountains. The people that, like, yeah. And I love that Lord got the spirit on them, like, fuck y'all. That's the devil told you 12 different things. That's how you know he lied. He said, well, yes, go. This nigga lied, said, oh, yeah, we're going to the peace deals real soon. It was the spirit that the elder did that video. It say, Jake, the melanated people, we not easily just misled. And I can see that too, because, you know, when you from the hood or the ghetto or impoverished, you got a nigga. I watch niggas come up with nothing. That had nothing, just tell a lie and get somebody like DJ Trap. You gotta always be on your P's and Q's or your square fucking with a nigga. A nigga will try to, yeah. You know, be women I see. I was one of them niggas at one point in time. Tell a bitch anything and get in their house and die. I'm sell her a dream. That's what we call it. Lil Wayne said it before. Said, sell you a dream, bitch, and you believed it. That's your fault. Right. That's why I equate this American dream to the nightmare that it became. Because everybody, and that's why the elder kept on saying, from Indianapolis, he kept on saying, he said, these motherfuckers gonna lose it because motherfucker don't like to get gotten over or, and I'm struggling too. See, motherfucker look past some shit if he can still have a little pleasure here or there. But wait, like he said, you coming with, they deputizing the National Guard, which that's gonna backfire because a lot of these people believe in America. A lot of people that go to the military believe in this place. When they realize it's not even for them. Like, I did a lesson on this. They was talking about the Coast Guard. Coast Guard, they wasn't funding them when they stopped funding ICE, but then they still had ICE out there. You see what I'm saying? This place is completely wicked. But the point is, you don't think them people lost heart? A lot of people that's gonna go and fight against these men, these devils, it's gonna be people that was part of their system. And that's who the Lord gonna turn spirit up to. Hey, I watched the brother post. I'm gonna do a lesson on that. Call Lawyer Layal, but should be on shot for this truth. That the Lord created a black serial killer like Candyman, but this nigga killing white. Hey, and you could tell the Lord got a spirit on because he not Batman. That nigga, they say this nigga a vigilante. He just going after everything that ain't right. The Lord, I think about that. The elders was in the spirit. These YNs gotta go. These YNs gotta go. And the Lord put a nigga out there to go kill the YNs. That's scary. Be careful what you wish for, but I'm with it. Get these young niggas, these old niggas too. Because a nigga can't be rehabilitated. And I've used the word niggas several times, but like the brothers from Chicago. Right. Yeah, they say nigger and then nigga. No, they say nigger. They say nigger. Because nigger go into Negro, like black, It's not really a disrespectful term if you can learn to look at it and flip it, you know what I mean? Everything is introverted or extra, you know what I mean? They flip shit around, like when you go into 666. 666 represents a man, which is this devil, right? But when you flip that 6 up, it's a 9. And Nikola Tesla went into the power of the 9. If you can understand a 9 is give you I forgot exactly how he worded it, but and when you go into 9 is such a powerful number because whatever you do with 9, you're gonna get 9. So, if you do 2 times 7, give you 27, which 2 and 7 make 9. It's just deep. And that's how you know the devil didn't, create math. He just rediscovered it because the Lord allowed him to. Verse 6, therefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shah, because thou hast set thine heart as the heart of the Most High made in his mind. Behold, therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords, killing instruments against the beauty of thy wisdom, which you got these nations preparing to come fuck Babylon up and this Edomite up right now. It says swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the death of them that are slain in the midst of the sea. I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to called Loyim Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem. Double honors to the elders, to my apostles, the ones that taught me this truth. Peace and salutation to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives, as well as their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and Akwatha to the listening and learning, Lord, willingly this is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribe to the truth. To you, I say Shalom. Brother Yahweh, stop coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit, through the power of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Yahweh meaning he is, he exists, or he to be, by Hashem, by his end, how's the Hashem his name. Yahweh Shai meaning he saves, or he deliverer. Two names of the Most High God and the Son, who these people ignorantly call God and Jesus Christ, but whose true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. This lesson is inspired by I was listening to a particular elder brother lesson, right? And he learned me real well, because he was in the spirit. Well, he always is, I like listening to that brother because I can relate to him, and if I ever got the chance to actually have sat down with him, he probably could relate to something I would say. But nonetheless, the brother, I know a little bit of his testimony. So, again, just the spirit drew me to that brother. But he was going into the voice of God. And when you take time to think about that, it's really deep. Because just imagine, he motherfucker got the technology to put some thoughts in your head. And that's what, like he said, that what's going to actually be able to preserve you through a time like that is actually knowing the scripture. That's why the elders emphasize reading, really studying. Because you ain't gonna even be able to trust your own thoughts. You get what I'm saying? Think about that shit. I remember the elder making mention of, he was like, they had put a thought in the woman's head while these people supposed to act like they so righteous, but the devil, they got sex rings. This shit didn't came out. So he said they put a thought in your head. Go ahead and let's have fun, and then let you get train ran on you by 6 or 7 dudes. I remember a female told me that. I met a female. She told me, she said she started selling pussy because the Lord told her to. And I know the Lord didn't tell her that. Because the scriptures talk about she was a Benjaminite. She Benjaminite. I remember the elder said, the elder from KC, he said, yeah, he a Levite. He said, Benjaminites like Levites. And then but when I see she was fucked up like this, she said some crazy shit. I was like, this bitch, yeah, you a demon. That's why I see why brothers don't teach women the truth. Hey, I market motherfuckers, I'm like a dog. I'm pissing everywhere, Everything. I got a dog, that nigga think everything he is. Right. Try to piss on your dog, nigga. That nigga, I'm making a joke, but no, this nigga crazy. I done used the word nigga several times, but, Jake, rude speech, because the thing is this, you got to take the uglinesses of the scriptures too. So if you can't even take a word, you know what I mean? I got to, because tone is a hell of a thing. I probably had a rough tone, so when brothers talk to me roughly, that didn't make me, it's a difference between like being stirred and then just total disrespect. You get it? But I'm not even trying to get nobody to get anything. I got to walk this shit. Like the elder said, figure it out while you're walking. And if you built for it, you're going to make it through it. If you not, it's over with. The Lord with you, you're going to see. He's going to see you through it. And if you're not going to make it. So, just based on listening to the lesson, I listened to it twice. I listened to it at my job, and then I listened to it again just now. And it was inspiring because that's why, like they said, brothers been in spirit telling Jake to lock in. You better lock in because this shit about to get real. It's already real, but it's about to get like in your face real. Because what they doing is going to affect. Come on, they merging militaries with the Israelis, and the Israelis know that we the real Israelites. Like, come on. So he made mention of a dystopian society, right? And it made me think of the movie Ready Player One. Because he was like pretty much the dopamine, right? Dopamine is like a reward system your body actually naturally. Like the Lord so cold how he designed everything. Like how you train a dog. You could train a dog 2 different ways. You could train him through pain and you could train him through reward. So that's why like motherfuckers give the dog a treat. You did it? Okay, here go a treat. That's the dopamine. But you also could do it through pain. And that's why they bring it through a system of dystopianism. Because most people ain't going to rebel. If they squash, in their mind they believe if they squash the spirit of like like that. That's why they try to take away the adrenaline. I mean, not the adrenaline, the testosterone. They try to make me men weaker. Like, because they want a society where they just in complete control. Like Alex Jones said, he say complete control. A prison planet. But what this devil doesn't understand, and I, hey, even if I ain't an elect, the water Yahweh Shimon Shai, I'm not an Idumean. An Idumean gonna be with this. Like the elder said. The elder did that video and he said, that's why I can't understand these blacker than black, blackity black. What was that movie with Chris Rock? CB4. He said, blacker than black, I'm blackity black. These blackity black motherfuckers come up there with this devil and you fighting against you. What's the scripture say? Kicking against you kicking against the pricks or something like you going against the grain. You a weirdo. Because again, why would you like this? You got Edomites that's like, this some bullshit. Jake Slow. It says like Ready Player One and only enjoy. Well, he said the elder went into. He said your only enjoyment is gonna be going into like a metaverse, and it make all the sense now. I remember I was working at a job. This is how long ago this was. This is like a job maybe back. This is probably like 2020. So show you how fast time is speeding up. I was listening to the elder speak on that. Time speeding up, but I remember making mention of the metaverse, and it was a nigga. This nigga hated me, but just hated me you know, just to hate me. Like, I never even got a chance to speak to it. I spoke to it. And that's how you know demons is real, for real. But the nigga was like, I can't wait to see that. And since I didn't like him either, I didn't say nothing personally to him. I'm trying to keep the job, you know. I ain't gonna lie, when I got fired, though, I thought about fucking that nigga. I'm gonna fuck you up, nigga. That's what the demon came up. But lost, I didn't do anything. But the point is, hey, I was listening to the same elder that I'm speaking of. He did a lesson. He got a Jake. Jake never brought out a scripture, right? But Jake was in the spirit like a motherfucker. He say the chosen was we be this close to fucking. Right. I got to rewatch that. I'm gonna do a lesson based on that because he said everything that was true, but he never brought out one scripture. So did that mean he's not in the spirit? The Lord is the Father's spirits. He know what he got set up to do what. But a true spiritual man, he ain't about to do nothing carnal. But at the same time, you know, you literally got to fight to be, you know, spiritual. But the scriptures talk about he that departed from evil, make himself a prey. So if we in an evil, wicked ass world and you trying to do the right thing, they at you like the elder said. He said they not trying to come after the people they already got. That's a saying in the world. Satan don't want who he got. He want the ones that he don't got. That's why your battle be more difficult and harder than, you know, these people he already got. That's just like a dude that like women, right? He don't really want the women that he already done pop. He trying to get the ones he ain't pop yet. And that's just facts. You know, we all men, so I know I like multiple women as well. We like variety. That show you how cold the Lord is. The Lord says, yeah, I love you so much, I'm gonna give you whatever the fuck you want. I'm gonna give you all these women. But sometimes too much is too much. You know, I live in a house full of feminine energy. That's why I got boy dogs, right? Because I'm not having no more children. I know for a fact. And I ain't going to get no procedure or nothing. I'm not having no more children. Brother told me I'm gonna have the children in the wilderness. If the Lord with you, yeah. Well, I believe this wilderness, like the elders say, well, if the Lord bring you in the wilderness, he got you. The Lord can do anything, but this is second Exodus out of the second Egypt, but at the same time, you know, I don't think he's gonna just do like swallow it up Israelites and all that because Israel went off. You know, again, the whole point of the lesson is to actually appreciate what the Lord gave us. Appreciate the fact that the Lord chose you because he could have made you anything. You get what I'm saying? He chose to make you an Israelite. So I understand why Jake be proud. Like, yeah, because this is a beautiful thing. I understand why Jake get proud to the nigga in the world that ain't never read the scripture, don't have the spirit. But you got to understand, that's the Lord. The difference between you and that man or woman is the Lord chose to favor you by giving you the spirit. The only reason why, you know, I was listening to the elder. He was speaking on. He was like, you know, knowledge puff him up. He was like, but a person that's really in the spirit, a man that's really in the spirit, he ain't gonna let the knowledge puff him up because he understands that the Lord gave it to him. You know, they was talking about boxing and combat sports. Combat sports is one of the few sports that you'll tend to hear when they allow these fighters, these warriors to speak, that they will acknowledge the Most High God. I remember a particular brother, the brother from New Jersey, one of the brothers, he was like, you got to understand when something is God-given, you know. So that's why all men are not created equal. Just basically being in the truth, you should understand that. And that should terrify you and exhilarate you. It should be like bitter and sweet. Because the Lord could take that, and that, like you said, the Lord could take it away too. That's terrifying. Because I wouldn't know what to do. What am I here for? You know what I mean? Like, to be a nigga, I'd turn it to the YN. What do you say? The YNK. Young nigga killer. I mean, I should have said that shit, but you know, I'm saying, I wouldn't do nothing. Except for, what I'll probably do, I'll probably try to go live in the woods and you gonna get in trouble for that. Esau, like, right, this nigga like, nigga, you gotta pay me to live in to get the fish. Y'all, nigga, like if a nigga go, Hey, I used to have to do community service, right? It was niggas so innovative. I watched niggas build little habitats under bridges and all kind of shit, right? These niggas was so innovative. The Lord put the spirit on them to actually survive out in that harsh condition because they homeless. And doing community service, you working for the city. The city, somebody called. I've had to tear up motherfuckers' house. Shut up. Come here. Salakia. Be quiet. This nigga retarded. Who? Stop. But show you how it's a dude named No Love. I think that's Finesse 2 Times brother. No Love. I mean, they would have us tear up these people's houses. And I didn't tear up his house. I did throw some of the shit away because you got to do it. But I was like that. I'm like, man, that's fucked up. I probably would have swung on somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you already fucked up, and then you, like, come on, that's crazy. But that's America. Like Childish Gambino made that song. This is America. It says, but so like he said, the only escape, because he was like, you're not gonna be able to like really like take your children out to the park and, you know, every weekend we go here, do this. You're not gonna be having the privilege, I guess, of going a family out. Let's go to this restaurant and eat. You know, when you go watch Demolition Man, it shows you a blueprint of what they really try to bring, this dystopian society. And I wholeheartedly believe this. Want to know why? Because there's so many movies that show you the society they want. You could go all the way back to the 70s. Like, what's that shit called? Logan's Run. I wonder if the Elder hip to that one. It's kind of cheesy right now. Like, if you just watch it, because you'll see, like, this is an old-ass movie. But if you watch it and get the concept of it, like, that shit, like, literally was a dystopian society. And at a certain age, they killed you. Like that movie, what's that shit called? The Island. At a certain age, they'd be like, you won the lottery to go here. They would put everybody at a certain age. And, like Fear the Walking Dead. That dude was the leader of a compound. That's why you shouldn't really wish to be in a position of rulership like that, because now the Lord gonna give it to whom he want, that he know that's ready for it, but you rushing trying to covet something that somebody else in the position. I never thought like that, because I'm like, man, my life hard now. You know, the fuck, I don't need extra responsibility, and then you can't slack on the Lord's work. So again, like, people be having opinions and shit. If you got an opinion of me, or you think or assume some shit, you should just ask me. I always tell you how I really feel. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. I ain't going to give you some fake shit. You know, I tell a bitch a lie in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like the elder said, you ain't got to tell your woman the truth. She ain't telling you it. That's one thing I learned about women, having all these daughters and being in the house with a woman and all. I say, they all lie, from the little ones to the grown ones. Then it's a movie called The Surrogates with Bruce Willis. I mentioned that because it was the same kind of society. You know, just like, again, Ready Player One. That movie looked like, oh yeah, it's a great movie because, you know, everybody liked the underdog, or everybody liked a comeback story. That's why I was making mention of Adrian Broner. And as much as I call him a nigga, he is a nigga. And it's stupid. That nigga not stupid at all. You know, he using and working his situation. So I got to give him a little props. You know, I got to give him props just because, you know, I don't know too much about his history as far as fighting. I know, you know, I got hip to him afterward. But I will say this. He's a 4-time world champion. I mean, just based on this, he say, man, I'm not really out of shape. You get what I'm saying? He got a gut. That don't mean he out of shape. That's why you can't, you know, looks are deceiving. He got to hitting on that punching bag. He gonna lose that weight. So it's amazing to see how disciplined he is when the word discipline goes back to the disciple. But is he going to be disciplined for the Lord? So all that shit don't mean nothing. I watched him quote some shit out of the Bible and was completely wrong. Zeal for the Most High, but not according to knowledge. But I guarantee you he prayed to a God. Because again, fighters or warriors are more humble because they can lose their life. They can get fucked up. I've only heard 2 boxers make the statement about boxing is a lonely a lonely sport. And it was Mike Tyson and it was Adrian Broner. He cussed out the little guy Dean because Dean want to teach him shit, but that old dog can still teach this young nigga something. Now, I never was just completely disrespectful to an elder. I grew up with a old school man. I'd have probably punched him in my mouth or something like the fuck. And you just watch. That's why it's a YN killer out here. These young motherfuckers don't have no respect for nothing. Except for themselves, and you ain't even learned nothing yet. You still learning. If the elder can say, and I'm almost 50 years old, that I'm still a baby and I'm still learning, I'm going to accept that. Because I know I don't know shit for real. I didn't get myself to this point. And I grew up with a lot of dudes that out here no more. That movie Surrogates with Bruce Willis, pretty much it was a society like that. The Oasis in the movie Ready Player One. The life, it shows you in that movie, real life shit was happening. People was protesting, people was rioting, all shit was going on. And because mostly they lived in the game. But then it was a part where they had to get out the game to go do something. And I ain't seen it in years. I remember was so spiritual about it. The brother that I just saw, Eve, he used to talk about that movie a lot. You know, he a real movie head. Which I like movies. I just don't get it, but it makes sense. He got a family, so he probably sit and watch movies with his family. He talk about little kid. That's why brothers be so much into movies because, a lot of brothers is visual people. I know certain brothers that don't like movies. I grew up watching movies with my daddy. And it's a spiritual aspect to it, just like with music. But in Surrogates, Bruce Willis was a detective. And like I said, pretty much they had society where they didn't actually walk around. They had robots like the movie Avatar that could upload their consciousness. And that's all the movies. I just named 3 movies, all showing you that this man is trying to play the Most High. It's if you ever seen They Live, he was going into, the elder was talking about how you go into a store and a store be playing music. But, what they call that shit, because you could do that to this day. Like subconsciously, like they'll have somebody speaking in the background. So you'll hear music, but under that tone, it'll be somebody speaking and it'll be affirmations. So like it'll be affirmations about, yeah, you're a good person or you're courageous, to lift you up. But he was talking about how you'll go to certain stores and you'll be buying shit that you normally don't buy. You like, well, damn, how I end up spending all this money? Because of the fact they got this music playing that's got these undertones of telling you to spend, buy, shop. And and that makes you think of that movie They Live. Because if you didn't have the glasses, you just doing shit. But when you had the glasses, you could see behind the billboards, there might be a picture of a man and woman. And then if you had the glasses, it'll say behind the picture, prison or something. You know what I mean? Like it'll say, what the reality really was. It was all about a system of control. John Carpenter, bad man. It says, what else did I get? Think about this. Remember when YouTube was clipping, you could clip something out of your videos and then save it? I utilized that. Now you can't even do that. So what did they do? Because remember, it didn't even go for a whole year. They did it. So now they got the technology. They like watching pretty much everything we say. And the crazy part is this. You could say something and never act on it. When they want to create a system where even to think it or say it, you just penalize. You know how evil that shit is? The Lord got mercy. This devil don't got no mercy, right? But he gonna want mercy when the Lord come to visit him. And then even with the grocery store stuff and, when you go into grocery stores, it's a psychology behind that shit. There's a reason why they got all the candy and all that shit right in the aisle when you check out. Because that's called an impulse buy. There's a reason why, like, if you bring all your children and you at the motherfucking cash register, that cashier is going to be patient with you because you got 5 children. Everybody, the kids see all the kids. Oh, they do that on purpose because it's psychology. They know it's called an impulse buy. So you might see that. Oh, let me get this. You don't need it, but it's just right here. Let me grab it. Them children see that kid, oh mama. I've seen, you know how many times I've seen that? Nigga woman with 12 motherfuckers, like the whole village and shit. They always, they try to, and then that's what I say, like a woman, and then a woman like that'll be proud. Like, bitch, the nigga that you gave you all these children, or these niggas ain't even with you, and you got all these children, you like, that bitch is unstable. I know how I can say that, because I heard the elders make the mention that. He was like, I messed with this crazy chick back. Yeah, I think we all had a crazy one, right? The Lord was learning us, like, yeah, so this one, not to look for. Run from that shit. But you have a woman like that that's fucked up, batshit crazy, because she got all these kids back to back. Her hormones is all out of whack. That's why women be thinking about killing themselves and all kind of fucked up shit after they had their children, because their hormones is out of whack. And when you have children back to back to back, like that's what I did to my demon. My children are stepletters. I only learned that because the Lord put me in a position to learn it. Men ain't thinking about no shit like that. But they built for it. That's why, like, again, when they body balances back out, they come back to they mind. It's a woman on YouTube, and she be uploading videos with her family and eating food. She got like 7 children, and she want more. She's in her proper spirit. Now, I wouldn't have all them children on this side. Like I said, again, I get a dog before I make another baby. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, like, this ain't the time for that. So, again, it made me just think about these different movies, because, again, he was like, just imagine, you're going to have to really be locked in with the spirit. You're going to have to actually understand the scriptures, because, again, the society they're creating, if you don't know thyself, you'll be done, like if you ain't got no discipline, that's the thing. Again, a lot of people was watching the Adrian Broner shit. He always drinking. I say he's not stupid, because for the cameras, he playing like he drinking. He wasn't even drinking, because he's really about to come back to boxing. Because he know when he come back to boxing, they gonna have to give him some money. And the scary part is this, like, I don't think he gonna fuck it up either. Like, the Lord gave him a taste of, nigga, you don't like this. He said he was completely broken. He had like 30 million. Imagine that. I can imagine to know why, because at one point in time the Lord did that to us. I just thought it'd never end. You know what I mean? MC Hammer did that. I respect MC Hammer, because the simple fact is, MC Hammer took care of his whole hood. You get what I'm saying? And then went into debt doing it. And guess what? He out of debt. Everybody can't say that. So this society that this devil's about to create is for punishment. And, people would think, oh, it's such a great thing. We got all these advances in technology and yada, yada, yada. But if the Lord allows you to be ushered into that, that's really for your detriment. That's really like punishment to your ass, for real. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 9, and it reads, Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. And that's going to come pretty much, when those ICBMs, destroy Babylon the Great. Well, the day of the Lord is, great judgment, but it's also going to be salvation for the Lord's elect. And it's going to pretty much, again, that's why they're creating this beast system. That's ultimately slavery. And yeah, they want to pretty much, sift through, the accumulation of spirits. Those that's with the shit, that can be programmed to be just good little worker bees. And the thing is, it ain't going to even be work. Think about it. So what's your purpose? But I was listening to something from the Maverick approach. And he said money really is, that's why they gave you paper. Gold actually carries a frequency. Gold can be ingested. Gold can do things for you. That's why they talk about Jake wearing gold. Because Jake understands, maybe not consciously, but spiritually. They're showing you how the spirit really be working, It might be a super completely ass super nigga, but he got all the gold. like Flavor. What was it? No, that was I'm gonna get you, sucker. Was it Death by Gold Chains? That nigga had a whole whole thing of gold on it. Yeah, Jake might not know one scripture, but he'll rock the gold. Because it's in our spirit too. But like the elder said, I'm not really a gold wearing person either. You know, I got a little gold chain because it represents something to me, but I don't wear it like that. To be truthful, I only bought it to retain some value. So if I have to sell it, right? Yeah. Yeah, I go buy some sneakers before I do, you know. Right. I like my feet to be comfortable. I've worked on my feet pretty much all my life. My feet be hurt. Like again, I'm gonna get you, sucker. You step on my foot. You said you step on my foot, I'm gonna shoot both of you, motherfucker. So yeah, the Lord coming to, like, he gonna allow this devil to create a system that he gonna be able to judge these different people. And Esau Edom is the sword. You know, what's that? Psalm chapter 17. Deliver me from the hand of the wicked, which is thy sword, roughly paraphrase. I might have butchered that. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter. Did I do that? I did not know I did that. Okay, hold up. Bear with me. I want 21. Ezekiel 21 and verse 1. And the reason the word of the Lord, Yahweh Shai came unto me saying, Son of man, set thy face toward Jerusalem and drop thy word. Drop thy word. Yeah. You know, that sounds like some Jake. Drop thy word toward the holy places and prophesy against the land of Israel. Because the Lord said prophesy against Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and prophesy against these 2/3 ass niggas that refuse to hearken and repent and turn back to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And say to the land of Israel, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, behold, I am against thee, and will draw forth my sword, which is Esau Edom. Yeah. He's using Esau Edom as a killing instrument to judge you 2/3 niggas that refuse to repent. And I will draw forth my sword out of the sheath and will cut off from thee the righteous and the wicked. So he's going to separate. And that's what this is all right now going on. The separation. When you go into the word Kodash, or holy, it means to be set apart. Deep. You know, so right now we in the stages of the Lord setting apart who gonna be with the system and who not. I got a sister said that she ain't got no problem with Maxine, you know, you know she ain't got no problem with no motherfucking so no Michael C it, you know. Second Ezra chapter 15. And because the devil's in rulership, you know, the place is completely wicked. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse I'm going to start at verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity or disbelief or unbelief of them trouble thee that speak against thee. You know, 2/3, these heathen. You know, but at the same time, you know, it's like the elder say, he like the juggernaut, you know. He said it too. He's like, I'm like the juggernaut because the more pain, the bigger, you know, his spirit gets tougher. He like you know, like real good fighters, certain fighters like pain. That's why you got certain fighters, like if you ever watch UFC, what's the guy that just won? He beat the dog shit out of the other guy. I think he'll Edomite, Dustin something. Like he'll get out there and fight. In his mind, he said some cold shit. He said, well, he said he don't be making plans what he gonna do after the fight because he like, I might die in this bitch. A warrior spirit. It's Dustin something. And you gotta learn to be able to do that with this truth. Because again, everything will be going good. I know brothers that experience that. Everything be going good. You got to learn to love to suffer. You got to learn to the point where you just, some shit happen, you like how Cat Williams said. He said, oh, I got a big nose. Okay, fuck it. You know, he said, you know, Jake, at a young age, they'll figure out my nose big. I got a big ass head. And then they accept it and get on and move on. He said, women, they still be trying to cover up or trying to work on some shit that they never came to grips with, when they was younger. So they never completely happy. They not happy with themselves. They can't please themselves. How the fuck you gonna please them? And I'm talking about old and young, again. I'm glad the Lord put these spirits on my children. Because, you love your children. You know what I mean? I love my children, but no, I ain't gonna give up my crown for them. Because I truly believe the Lord give me whatever the fuck I want. He got them back in real demonic now. And I can see a family being a peace of mind in a hellish world. That's why it's a saying about your house being your home. A home and a house is two different things. Your home is where your love is and all that. So yeah, just imagine brothers catch hell coming home. They done dealt with the Edomite and dealt with niggas and maneuver through this whole dangerous ass valley of death to get home, and this bitch being a bitch. And the reason why I say bitch is because a bitch is a female dog, so she's just barking, complaining. Like I told my roommate, I say, do you not know how much I want to say? Do you not know how much I don't want to come back here sometimes? But I do it because I'm not no weak ass woman. A woman will run. Just showing you the selfishness of a woman. I'm not saying all women, of a woman. Like a woman having in her mind, if I'm not happy, I'm going to just leave the relationship. So she severed the relationship between a man to stay and hate that he's with this woman, but stay for the children's sake. A woman will say, fuck the children's well-being for her own happiness. And that's why the scriptures say a foolish woman will destroy for her house. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shah, behold, saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shah, will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction, which we're seeing all take place. Freak storms, earthquakes in divers places. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. And we watching these things manifest right before our eyes. It's the book of Revelation chapter 12 and 12. So the devil about to come down with great wrath. Because he knows that he got a short time. Things is moving for prophecy's sake, but at the same time, this devil don't got it the way he want. And pretty much, you ever just got frustrated? You know what I mean? The devil, again, he used to being able to just use the power of the tongue and his lies to manipulate, but a lot of people ain't biting. So now he's going to have to come down with great wrath. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, and it reads, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe, meaning destruction to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, meaning the deceiver, the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And the testimony to that is, like the elder said, he said pretty much, he made 2 videos pretty much touching on the same stuff about, like, in the state of Indiana, how they pretty much about to, like, be one of those show me states, one of those states where they're about to implement stuff that's going to affect the whole country. He's talking about how they deputized in the National Guard and, doing all these different things, joining, again, the Israeli military along with the American military. Says, having a great wrath because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And that's why all these things are being implemented. Because he know that he hath but a short time. So this is the book of Ezekiel. So we about to be in times of evil. And only evil, behold, is come. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 7. And I'm going to start at verse 3. Now is the end come upon thee. We end. Let's see what the word end means.
Strong's H 7093. Kate's.
Id at the time of id at the end of time, at the end of space. So we at the end of this man's rulership. Now is the end come upon thee, and I will send my anger And like I said, again, all these different things that's going on, these storms, these earthquakes, this violence that's being increased in the earth. You know, scriptures tell you in the last days, perilous times shall come. It talks about iniquity shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. You know, so all these different judgments is pretty much the anger of the Lord, His wrath. And I will send my anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense upon thee all thine abominations. What's the word abominations? A filthy, detestable, disgusting act. Let's look that up.
Strong's H 8441. To'eva. To'eva.
A disgusting thing, abomination, abominable, in ritual sense of unclean food, idols, mixed marriages, in ethical sense of wickedness, etc. It says, verse 4, and my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. You know, that's deep too, because we walking into the earth right now, and we got abominations amongst us, and we trying to live a certain kind of way. Verse 5, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, evil and only evil behold is come. And evil is a compound word, eve meaning time, ill meaning bad. So I know individuals just from the walking the truth that realize, you can't just be, you got to be more frugal. Like, if you bite my toe, I'm gonna, everybody's, I ain't gonna say penny pinching, but everybody is being frugal. You got people really taking a asshole kicking right now. And that's to give you more incentive to just be the water Yahweh Shai. If you got a job, if you're able to maintain your bill, I don't want too many extra things. I already sacrificed. I remember brother used to see that I wasn't buying clothes, and he would give me clothes. And it ain't I couldn't buy clothes. It's other priorities. You know what I mean? I grew up with a dad that will wear the same pants. He had other clothes. He was locked into what the fuck he had going on. Now, if I want to clean up, I'll clean up like a motherfucker. Jake rock shit. You know what I mean? That's why the elders say I'm a sneakerhead. Because my female friend, that's just Jake. Jake. Jake is the only one. Like the first guy I say wear pink, which is a feminine color. But then I heard that it's really not. But the first Jake I say rock pink was Cameron. You would think like a nigga wearing pink, because again, it ain't got nothing to do with your masculinity. You can wear some no-name shoes, and if you know how to put the shit together, you got any sense of fashion, you can, if you really got a spirit, you can put your spirit on some clothes. You know what I'm saying? That's just facts. Like the elder brother, I forgot, he was into fashion. I was like, Jake be having many talents. I was listening to the one brother. I ended up seeing the brother when I was capping. He was like, "It's good to see you, man." I was like, "Good as." I don't think I even said I was everywhere at that time. It's crazy too, because right before I was about to leave, before I left the cap, he was talking about hooking up with me. We was gonna go eat and chop it up. See, that's a good brother. Like brothers that want to be around other brothers. Like I used to do that. I just pick a brother. Let me. Or if a brother needed help, I ain't never helped this brother. Let me help him. That's the brotherhood, man. And again, I know the Lord don't make no mistakes. I pray that me and both the men is literally of the elect. You know what I mean? Like, because again, when you understand that's cold how the Lord do it too. Because if you want mercy, you got to give mercy. This is like with you want a strong spirit. Well, the Lord got to take you through church shit. Like, I remember the elder making that statement. He said he ran cross country. And the elder does have a particular spirit. And again, I make mention of this shit because I remember, how like the spirit just saying something to you. I never played no sports in high school, but I could play sports. I never played because I was around niggas. I'm thinking the way they showing me, that's life. But the only sport that I wrestled, I lied. I wrestled. I wrestled. So I ain't mean a lot, but I wrestled in middle school. And then when we went to high school, I was going to wrestle there, but they cut the program. Right. But they still had cross country and track. And then motherfucker came to me, and I'm like, why are you trying to get me the wrong? Because I was always fast. Like, I was like the fastest person on my block. And I grew up on a block with like 40 motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's niggas. And long story short, though, I was always the fastest one. That's why I got picked. I grew up with a nigga that he had the balls, the basketball, the football, but nobody would pick him because he couldn't play. Like my daddy didn't have to go get me a ball. I'm gonna play. You know, and I think I took it to like the elder brother said. Well, he a younger brother, but he got an elder brother spirit. Like he talks about a man that's well traveled in the Apocrypha. But he was saying how growing up, he saw Jake. Jake have talent, but waste of talent. And that show you again how the Lord can give you a gift and take it away. Just like with this truth. Let me skip to, because I'm just rambling now. Verse 6. And end is coming, the end is coming, watching for thee, behold, is coming. The Lord is set at the end. And again, that's why it's so imperative to stay locked in, man. Anybody that fall out the truth now, like, oof. Like, the reason why I did what I did, not, because it's showing you something, everything with the Lord. I know myself, it's hard for me to let go of grudge. That's why the Lord using me now to hate Esau. I'm not going to forgive you, bitch-ass demon motherfucker, right. And I tend to be like that, unforgiving with a lot of stuff. But the scriptures talk about the greatest love you're supposed to have for one another. I heard Jake say, ain't nobody holding no grudge. That's between the Lord and that man. They say absence makes the heart grow fonder. I know I forgave that man. Know why? Because when I saw his Eve and his baby, I smiled. And again, it might be in my mind, but she walked by like 3 times, like showing me the baby. Now, she was with a whole other woman. I was like, damn, she bad. I hope that ain't nobody brother's woman or nothing like that. I ain't claimed nothing. But I was like, she pretty. Never brought her around when we was right. But that's probably somebody, a brother's woman. I ain't claiming, that's why I say you gotta watch, like shit crazy. Shit beautiful too, because we at the end, man, like I said, yeah. I always respected that man. Wonder why? Because it's simple. And just to have a peaceful house, that's the Lord loving you. Lord say, a wicked woman's given to a wicked man. And that's not always the case, but yeah. Or the Lord trying you, building you up. I'm to the point, I got a female friend. I told her I got love for you, but I'm not in love with you. I got love for you. Because she got love for me. I go through headaches with it. That's what I say, like, it's nothing here I want. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Don't step on my toes like that nigga over. So, because we grown men, but I understand I don't got no power. So I ain't about to try to do. I remember Jake was talking about John Wick. Oh, you try to do, because I try to learn the art. Like, everybody got something to fucking say. Like, I remember Jake saying that, oh yeah, because you never seen me do something you didn't know. Man, I'm again, I used to work out. The fuck? I probably could keep up with a lot of people that you be like, damn, I didn't know you could do that. I went to the gym with one brother, and he was so surprised that I was doing the shit he was doing. And he bigger than me. Right. Like, I look like this. And that ain't to try and brag on myself. It's just like, I hate that, because I don't just assume shit. Before I just assume something, I might hit you with a question to see what you say. Then I'm going to make a right. I say, is it right? Hey, because when you think about it, if somebody say that something that makes sense, you can be like, yeah, you're right. I'm going to listen to the elder video. I love y'all, brother, man, for real. Like, to why do y'all much y'all shout for this truth and the spirit? Because again, being doing this, walking this lowly ass, and that's what made me think about it. Look, like boxing and this truth is like the same. It's a lonely road. Cause yeah, you amongst men, but you go home and fight the demons by yourself. The brother said, I stayed with a brother, and it is good or bad with that. You got to remember, we all got spirits we fight. So now I understand a little bit more. Brothers gonna have to probably rely on each other, move in together. I watch brothers stand with each other, and then you see them again. They moved here with us. They moved on their own. Like, yeah, the Lord got. And it's gonna probably come back to all brothers standing with each other. You know, I moved in with a female, which I didn't want to do because I needed to upgrade, and I know I'm gonna need help. I had a job, right? And motherfucking these motherfuckers lied. I wanted to quit the job. It's a hard job, but I know I can do it, right? I got mad because they lied. So I'm like, fuck this job. But it's so much demonic shit happening at my house. I said, I'd rather work all the time, and as long as I can still do my videos and go out and camp, as opposed to trying to, like, get it. I keep this job and just, like, suffer. Because to go back to suffering, everything is about suffering. And when you refuse to suffer anymore, then yeah, you weak body ass, weak ass, bitch ass nigga. The Lord don't have no use for you then. Our Lord suffered. So if you're not ready to suffer, you're not ready to be received by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Ezekiel 7 and verse 25. Destruction cometh, and they shall seek peace, and there shall be none. The Lord ain't coming with peace. The Lord coming with, hey, it's a video. I watch it because a lot of people put clips in it. It's like a fake ass Mortal Kombat, but with Ham. They'll probably Jake though. It's like, because you can see some off shit with like a heathen, right? Like, I ain't doing that. But then you'll see some Hamitic people that like there's some nigga shit, right? But he say, I don't want peace. I want problems always. And the way that they do it, it's so funny though. The way he say it is hilarious. And that's the mindset you got to be in. Like, because you against this world, you opposed to it, right? It's like positive and negative, right? So it's going to always be like, right? So if you get into the what's the word? The spirit of compliance. You're going to be complacent. Yeah, you lost. I'm still thinking about that video. Like, they can put a thought in your mind. And I believe that because I used to read a lot of shit. Like, yeah, they got some technology. A lot of shit be based off of ancient shit. And then, like, the Lord give them certain shit. Like, yeah. A lot of that's why the elder always talk about the Urim and the Thummim. You know, he said it's ancient technology. Right. So I'm going to end this with this. Talk about the scriptures being a light. Let me find that. Let me find that. Bear with me. This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 14. I ain't going to get the other one, but I know it's in Psalms. I think it might be like, I might got it already. I think it's like, it's the longest Psalms. I think it's Psalms 105. Because Psalms 105 is like long. It's like a lot of verses. And I think Psalms 105 goes into this word is the light to the path, roughly paraphrase. So that's how we going to maneuver in this uncomfortability, in this land of darkness. The scriptures talk about this, the valley is the shadow of death. You know what a shadow is? What are you doing? You better not be messing with nothing that you... Come here. Come here. Caleb. Come here. Get out of there. Come here. Here. Come get this food. Salaki. Caleb, come here. Malak. I had a dog named Malak. That nigga really thought he was a king. He's like, I ain't doing that. Then he got into it with the other dog. That nigga tried to bite his whole face off. I said, this nigga crazy. This says, Matthew chapter 5 and verse 14, when Yahushua tells as follows, they are the light of the world and calls them to let their actions shine so people can see. You know, and that's us going on the highways and hedges. That's us living the walk, not just speaking the walk. You gotta, and that's scary too, because again, we all fall short. But again, I pray for the elect, and I very well might not be the elect. The Lord praying for the elect, so I'm gonna pray for what the Lord praying for. The book of Psalms chapter 105. Oh yeah, that's a good one. He's basically going to the covenant that he made with the Israelites, which the Lord is a man of his word. See, man will lie to you. Man will do some off shit because we in these weak-ass bodies. I've lied. I try not to lie. I mean, I might have lied in this truth. I have not consciously lied in this truth. I didn't like a liar in the world, and a lot of brothers feel that way. Because if you a lie, you will steal, you'll kill, you'll do anything. My daughter lied to me now. Hell no. I don't want to see her by 13, 14. If you lie now and you're not even that age, the fuck you gonna do? And I'm gonna fuck something up. Like, I told her already, you get pregnant, I'm gonna let you go and raise that child by yourself. We gonna emancipate you and everything. I'm serious. I'm not about to deal with that shit. And we gonna see how sacrifice. I remember, I can still hear that brother's voice to this day. Because he watched me, and know why the spirit was on him? Because he was a family man. And he had the mindset, he said, shit. The thing was, though, he used to laugh at, like, brother going through some hell. He'd laugh. But that's the Lord laughing. I can see that now. I'm like, what the nigga laughing for? Like, nigga, I'm about to headbutt your dumb ass. But no, seriously, though, I wasn't going to. But the point is, like, you laughing, but that's the Lord laughing. Like, yeah, I'm taking you through this shit, I'm not even blaming nobody else. It was kind of fucked up at the moment, but at the same time, the Lord wanted me to go through that. But I know myself, I'd have hated you, man, and the Lord would have killed me. I'm good. I don't hate you. I love you. We fight the good fight. Fight. Hey, I read that Daily Bread. That's why I like Daily Bread, because you hear about personal testimonies and, it's the scripture. I remember Jake was up there like, oh, what did this apply? Like, no, it's the Bible, dude. Take it and apply it to you. Goofy ass nigga. Hey, he say he not only tied his hands and his feet, he put himself in a sack. That's some shit the elders said was, that's juggernaut type shit. So you better get a mind frame with that. Psalms 105 and verse 15. I'm going to end it on this. Saying, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. If the Lord with you, ain't nothing to fear, because we locked in. And I know I got enough of a testimony. Why you think I say, I might not be able to do this, but I'm going to do this. And if it's painful or whatnot, I believe, man, listen, I believe people could have superpowers. You don't think I think the Lord could let you die, wake you back up? I did videos of people literally clinically died and coming back to life. Lord can do anything, man. So spiritual power is like little, like it's a big part, but it's little. Like, the fuck? The Lord want to give us spiritual power. Don't you get that? I'm about to show the world, yeah. You got individuals sit up there, the human body can do this, and people, you will watch a motherfucker. I watched that one gym, Diamond Gym, which they brought that streamer over there, now they getting sued. Ain't that some shit? Because the dude rough. And you need, as men, rough. That's a spirit. Phone chimed in. We need rough. I got all this feminine energy and everybody just complaining. So just about, like, I slept outside. Have you? And that brother be so cold because he gets children into the spirit of sleeping outside. What I'm saying is, I've roughed a lot of shit. And hell no, I didn't like it, but I did it. My demon did it with me. And then she ran. So that's the mindset if I got of a woman. A lot of you women ain't ready. And it's going to be worse now. I'm telling you. Like back in the day, you could go to a shelter. You go do this, do that. What happens when they cut the funding off for a lot of these spots? I found out our city got the biggest shelter in the city. So they give out money, but they get the money back because they get grants for this shelter. Ain't that some shit? Prison Planet for real. Hey, come up out of this place. That's what the Lord was saying. Stop! What are you doing? What you smell over there or something? Yeah, that's a whole little door too. There's a demon in that bitch up. Bark at that motherfucker. So with that, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back. I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power. His true name in the Paleo Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to call Elohim La Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahshai Ba'ashim. That's double honors to the elders and to the apostles that taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith, as well as with sincerity, as well as risking their lives, as well as their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and Aqua that they're listening and learning, Lord willingly is edified. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, who subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time, Lord willingly, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasharallah and Muwath Lababah. Shalom.